The news, baby. That's right. Time for KP in the news.
That's right. It's time for the news here, KP Video News, and in about a week, I'm going to start doing, getting started on my contest. I said I was going to do a little contest to try to give away some of these KP Video Cups, and I also have some KP Video News caps as well. So I'm gonna get busy on this contest coming up next week. So, so far I'm thinking that you can probably get one of these cups if you just go ahead on and, hook up like 10 people, 15, 20 people, and get them to subscribe to my news page, and then I'll reward you with that KP Video News cup, cap, t-shirt, whatever. All right, here we go. We're going to get started here. First, let me get a tasty beverage. Gotta have a tasty beverage. All right, so we got a 70-year-old grandmother tased 3 times by Florida police officers. Manatee County, Florida. Barbara Pinckey, a 70-year-old grandmother from Florida, was repeatedly tased during a violent arrest by police who were searching for her grandson who violated probation. Police say Pinckey refused to let them in her home. On December 26, police came to Pinckey's home to serve an arrest warrant to her grandson, Tevin Turner, on violation of probation for carrying a concealed weapon. We heard a knock at the door. Actually, there wasn't a knock. They kicked the door down, bam, at the door. In the video shot by his grandson's wife, Elizabeth Francisco, Pinckney can be heard asking to speak to a sergeant. When the police refused, she tried to close the door, but an officer then grabbed her wrist before tasing her and taking her to the ground. I was just hollering and I was scared. I didn't know what else to do. I was just hollering, said Pinckney, who suffered injuries after she was hit 3 times with a stun gun in her left arm, back, and upper back. Pinckney was arrested for obstruction and resisting an officer. Now, Pinckney, who has never had trouble with the police before, said she can't even sleep at night because of the trauma it caused her. She said, I don't know, whenever I see the police, I just try not to look at them. Meanwhile, his grandson has not been caught. She claimed that when he was on probation, he gave this as his address, but he wasn't living here. Moreover, Manatee County Sheriff's Office said they were investigating the incident. Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells said, we're trying to prove whether or not any policy violations or any law was broken. That seems to be the indication of many in the community, a bad arrest. Of course it was a bad arrest. You got a 70-year-old grandmother being attacked by some 20, 30-year-old cops. Come on, man, you don't need to do all that. You don't need to do all that. So, all this crap, we can't allow this crap to keep happening, because if they do, then all of a sudden the so-called mainstream is going to think that this is okay, and it's not okay. Security guards confront innocent black man for taking photos in his own neighborhood. Oakland, California. Kenya Wheeler, an African-American man from California, says he was racially profiled by 3 security guards who confronted him. One even drew a weapon at him because he was taking photos while walking home. Kenya believes he was treated that way because of his race. Kenya posted what happened on Facebook along with the video he took of the incident. In the video, the security guards can be heard asking, why do you take pictures? I took pictures of the bike racks, Wheeler answered. The security guards did not believe Wheeler and accused him of casing vehicles. Instead, Wheeler was then forced to wait for the police while detained. He said he was shocked when he saw one of the guards threaten him with the firearm, even though he was unarmed and he only had his smartphone and umbrella with him. Given that the guard had pulled a weapon, Wheeler said, he did not feel safe in exercising my rights to leave and stayed, even though I felt was a false detention and these were not peace officers and I hadn't committed a crime. Wheeler, who was the head of Oakland Bicyclist and Pedestrian Commission, said he was walking home from a yoga class when he noticed the bike racks that were adorned with colorful yarn. He stopped to take photos of them to share with his colleagues at the commission, but then he was suddenly stopped by security guards. After being held for 20 minutes, he was free to go home after the police came and resolved the incident professionally. Still, he was disappointed with the incident, which he believed happened because of his race. This is racial profiling. This is a racial act, he told ABC News. The only reason that I'm being treated this way is because I'm black. Meanwhile, Peter Jekyll, a spokesman for the PR firm that represented the building where the security guards worked, said they were also upset about the incident, that they have since changed their security providers. We share the concerns Mr. Will expressed, as he was on a public sidewalk and should not have been confronted at all. Moreover, Will said the building manager apologized to him and said there have been recent break-ins in the area which may have the reason, but the guard stepped up to security. He hopes his experience could serve as a lesson about the importance of inclusion and diversity. What I do know is that all of us as a community need to come together to ensure what happened to me doesn't happen to others in Oakland or elsewhere in our region, he said. Another day in Oakland. So here's another day in New York. New York City to pay $625,000 settlement to a black woman after cops ripped her baby away. Jasmine Headley, a black mother whose 1-year-old son was forcibly pulled from her arms by New York police officers during an arrest, will be awarded $625,000 settlement from the city of New York after she filed a lawsuit in connection to the incident. A year ago, Headley was at a social service office in Brooklyn to inquire about her child care benefits. She was seated on the floor with her baby in her arms, and there was no more available seats. The cops demanded her to leave. When she told the cops she wanted to see a supervisor, a struggle ensued and all things escalated quickly. The incident was captured by a bystander on video that eventually went viral on social media. In the video, she can be seen on the floor, on her back, as officers wrestled her and took her baby away from her. She can be heard saying, "They're hurting my son, they're hurting my son." Headley was then slapped with several charges, but those were eventually all dropped. Days after the incident, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio apologized to her publicly. In August, Headley had sued the city of New York, claiming she was humiliated, assaulted, physically injured, threatened with a taser, and brutally separated from her son, handcuffed, arrested, and jailed, all by the employees of New York City. She is now set to receive a $650,000 settlement. I'll take a tasty beverage to that. Make them pay. When they dog you out and they abuse you, make them pay. Don't let them get away. Hey, that's a new slogan. Don't let them get away, make them pay. News time, baby. That's right, news time. Peace.